Cyber Weekend predictions. Hello everybody. This is going to be a very important couple of weeks for the community. And of course, there's a lot of things to consider depending on where you are at in the game. So right off the bat, I think the main thing to kind of remember is obviously there's people that have already gone and done a Necropolis grind. I don't know if that's the case. They've just gone and done that. They haven't thought about Cyber Weekend and Banquet Event, especially when it comes to unit acquisition and say unit prioritization to different things. As I said, for me, people do ask me this, like, what are you doing with your Necropolis run? I'm not going to do it until I see what the Cyber Weekend deals are. If they're bad from a Paragon perspective or not as good as maybe I'd hoped, then I'll look to do an Necropolis run, right off the bat, maybe before the Banquet Event launches. I haven't really 100% decided on that one, but that kind of feels like the plan, especially because making a decision of getting a rank 2 to 3 champion is going to be important. Players want to go Paragon looking to be valiant, and if they want to get to that progression, it will be about how they get that next rank 2 to 3 gem or 2 to 3 process. And it could be a case of doing a 100% run. I don't know. Like, it could be a case you could easily pick up some deals in Cyber Weekend deals. Again, don't know. But the main thing, and as I've said, like, I will do a full video dissecting and comparing when we actually have the rewards, is to, and something I keep mentioning, is that there is a milestone reward at the moment for if there's a lot of deaths in the Necropolis, which, I'll probably be, responsible for 500,000 of them. No, I don't want to do that. But if there is a lot of deaths in there, it means that there's a lot of these rewards that will be given out to players. And it's a bit of a forewarning to go, look, if all of this stuff is in Cyber Weekend deals, and it's like, well, to get this costs you about 18,000 units, then you kind of go like, well, to be honest, well, let's go and do a Necropolis run, because I'll theoretically get all of this stuff just by doing a completion. So it becomes a no-brainer to do Necropolis over doing something like spending 18,000 units in Cyber Weekend deals. But as I said, it's important for Paragon players to note, where are they getting the next rank 2 to 3 gem? Are they getting a rank 2 to 3 gem? Is there any kind of like spicy stuff that you would not get within here? And that's something to note. But that's something I just want to kick off this video with, and again reiterate. But a lot of people have already done the runs, so it's kind of like, well, look, if you're free to play and you can't get up to 18,000 units, and there's something spicy in Cyber Weekend, then look, you lost out at the end of the day. Hopefully, it's not the case, because it would be nice for everybody to get the option. But there you go. Okay. Let's get into the full aspect of the video and talk about where I see the deals going. Now you might be going, Rich, well, this is on screen right now is the July 4th deals information. Ah, yes, very astute of you. But the thing that's important, this is the last meta of these unit-based deals that we had. Important to note. We'll talk about spending in a minute, but obviously we want to talk about non-spending. And non-spending will be these kind of like tiered rewards. Do I foresee them being exactly the same for the likes of Thronebreaker and Cavalier? Yes, they're more likely to be exactly the same. If anything changes with it, and my kind of predictions on this particular subject is, I kind of feel like it's very much the same. You may see like an extra Abyss level kind of crystal, but to be actually honest with this, I don't think Kabam are going to give you anything more than this, especially because they are more than likely going to route Thronebreaker and Cavalier into the same kind of bracket as they did. It wouldn't make much sense for them to change that kind of scheme of kind of churn out with it. It's still the same, 7-star shards will be the latter point of the deals, going back to like, the furthest tiers. And do bear in mind, like from a setup perspective, it is more than likely we see something that looks a little bit like this. But Kabam could change it. So do bear in mind, Kabam could go like, okay, well, we'll put out the normal thing that we saw, not normal, what we saw at July 4th deals. But they could do the thing where they just go 1,000 units. A 2,000 unit deal, another 2,000 unit deal, a 5,000 unit deal, another 5,000 unit deal, and so on. So it looks a little bit like, this. ending with kind of like something that 3,000. And what they're doing is, as opposed to like what they did for the July 4th deals, is making it more smaller increments, where it was a case, you know, July 4th deals, you had to spend 7,500 on the furthest tier, and then a further 6,750 for the tier below that. I'm not sure if they'll give something that allows you to feel like, okay, we have a little bit of an entry into this, but they just put out this, you know, the Platinum Event, which gives you some units. So, look, there could be that, there could be not that. And as I said, I just don't think there's anything kind of like remotely spicy. Throne, oh, it's there. That's Thronebreaker. So yeah, like these, but yeah, I mean, you get the point. Like, I just don't see a lot of the spicy stuff for Cavalier Thronebreaker. I think it'll be good. And as I said, I think you'll get like, you know, your yearly base ones and stuff. Abyss Nexuses maybe added into that one. But as I said, I don't think anything is going to change. But where I think things are going to change is when it comes to Paragon. Now, my hope is, and as I've put in my, I was kind of like building a thing out to kind of go like, I feel this is how it's going to go. Then I started like, you know, theory crafting that Kabam are going to give out a load of kind of like, you know, nice things. But at the same time, like, this is the difficulty. Paragon is in a very difficult stage at the moment. Only a small percentage of people have 100%ed Necropolis. And by the end of next week, will again, small amount of people would have 100%ed Necropolis, which basically means that they are theoretically Valiant-based title holders. Because indeed what they've done is they've done the exploration for the 2 to 3 gem, and of course, you know, potentially ranked up a 2 to 3 on a specific 7-star champion, in theory. But in theory, they may not have. But the point is, there'll be a small amount of people available to have this particular deal. I think that this means that Paragon are going to do what Thronebreaker, Cavalier players were in 2019, I think it is, when we had Abyss. I think this is the case when we had Abyss, and the July 4th deals were kind of bracketed in a way that Cavalier people had really spicy deals. But then in the Cyber Weekend, there were Thronebreaker players, and the spicy deals were not there. This, I feel, is going to be the time to kind of encourage a kind of grab or kind of get up to a Valiant player, or get close, or get halfway there. Command stated that they would not give out a kind of pay to grab type element to it, so you wouldn't be paying to grab the title. Although, as many have theorized, they feel that there's going to be a rank 2 to 3 gem that's going to be in the spending deals. I haven't really touched on the spending deals, but I think that may be where the case is, or it's going to be in the latter points of the Paragon deals. So maybe after you've spent a certain amount, like in your 3,000 unit spend, like after spending X amount, like, you know, after spending 18,000 units, you can then spend a further 3,000 and you'll be able to get a rank 2 to 3 7-star gem, but you can only purchase it once. Maybe. Or it's going to be a case that you can purchase little increments of tier 4 alpha in various different deals of the ones that I've got on screen as examples. So that's where I kind of feel that Kabam might do it. And if they are doing it that way, then at least give some opportunity to free-to-play players to go. And if they do that, that's great. Because for me, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll grab that deal there and then start farming again for units and then throw myself into a Necropolis run, completely go no to the Banquet Event, and then kind of focus on that during the December to early January. So then I can get the additional rewards that come with by doing it by January 15th. So that may be another process. And that's the thing, you know, some people are itching to get into it, but at the same time, you've got to trust the process. You can find yourself jumping into something and not really properly researching it. You may actually need champions, items, rank ups from the Cyber Weekend deals in order to, you know, make improvements to your Necropolis run. Not saying yes, not saying no. It's just a case of like, that could be the case with it. So, more predictions. What else do I predict with stuff? Well, my kind of thought process of the kind of like Paragon predictions is that we'll see average 6-star shards. Yep, I kind of feel that could be the case. More 7-star shards is a good possibility. We've seen a devaluation in the 7-star shard kind of giving out to players. And to give you an idea, it's like if they were giving out 15,000, I think was the latter point of a deal in July. It may be a case of like, well, we'll give 20,000 this time. Not to say they are or not, but look, we got free selectors sent out. They're more prevalent in games. There's more kind of given out. So there's more possibilities, for this, and I think that's going to be a case. Maybe rank 2 to 3 gem, as I said, but I don't think that's going to be the case because it's more than likely either small increments of tier 4 alpha, and of course you need a good chunk of it to do it. So it may be a case of like going, okay, well here's a part of it here, here's part of it there, here's part of it there. You may get one or two fully formed. Actually, I've got to check, like, what is the you need 3, so maybe there's going to be like at least kind of 3, but I do worry that Kabam are going to do this. You have to spend 15,000 units to get 1. It's hard to kind of like gauge that, or they'll paywall it, which wouldn't be too good, but it's Kabam at the end of the day. More fully formed tier 6 class catalyst, I think that's going to be the case. It's definitely devalued. And Titan Crystal Shards, I feel a lot more of that's been given out more regularly nowadays, but we'll have to see. Abyss Selector, possibly, but we've got those era selectors, so that could be a thing. From a Valiant perspective, I think that's just going to be your normal 6-star Relic Selector. I think that's going to be there. A large volume of Tier 4 Alpha, possibly, because it's, this is meant to be a very rare and kind of like exclusive, limited type progression at this moment in time. 7-star signature stones, I think, are going to be a thing. It feels like it's going to be the thing, because at the end of the day, people are going to spend, in any case, to do 100% Necropolis. Spenders are going to want to see something that they want to see. And if they don't see it, they'll just be disappointed. They'll be like, well, look, why I need to spend on stuff in game? People are like that. More rank 3 7-stars possibility, but I'm not sure, especially because Kabam don't want to flood the game. And of course, it sends a bit of a bad eco balance going into December and Battlegrounds runs, because look, we're gonna have situations of this is just gonna be. I'm gonna be taking my 5-star Nick Fury into this against rank 3 7-stars. Come on, Kabam, you gotta do better with this. You gotta set up a fair ecosystem of stuff. But that's never going to be the case, because this is all about spending on elements of this. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see what the process is, what's going to be dropped in, what's going to be some differences, if there's going to be any differences. As I said, look at July 4th deals as to where we see things going, but obviously realism in mind. There's not going to be a lot of Valiant players. There are going to be a lot of Paragon players making that jump up to Valiant. So it's a case of going, what's in the deals? Is it worth getting? Will it have an impact? Can I, especially if you're non-spending, can I go no to them? Can I go no to the Banquet Event and 100% Necropolis? You've got to make some very important decisions. And I think that rushing into this, doing a Necropolis run, within a week, it's only been out a matter of days, is and could be a bit foolish, depending on your situation, your planning, and as well, giving into what the new and shiny is. But we'll see. Like, I'm excited to kind of like look at my process next week and go, look, 18,000 units, CyberWeekend, or 21,000 units by then, 21,000 units CyberWeekend, or is it Banquet Event, neither, either, or Necropolis, as many processes, as many times going through as possible. We'll have to see. But there we go, that's been the video. Look out for more content covering this. Oh, and a bit of forewarning. I'm going to a works do thing on Friday night, annoyingly, and a good chunk of Saturday. So I'll be making my coverage and content going into Saturday evening UK time and going into early next week. So if you're interested on some of the coverage that I'll have, I can't put it out right there and then, mainly because I'm not around to cover it, which is annoying. This will be a one-off because I agreed to this, but I really wish that I didn't, because I really wanted to cover this, because it's more important this year than I think it will be next year. But in any case, if you can wait, it's going to be good. We'll do some coverage. Thanks everybody for watching. Check out some other content located on the screen right now. I appreciate you. See you in the next one. Bye bye.